Okay, hello everybody. It's Rose Chastain from your Natural Healthcare. And with me, I have Nikki from Flanci. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Rose. Hi, everyone.
It is so great that I get to do this. Okay, for those of you who are unfortunate enough to not know Nikki or not know Flanci, I am here to make your life so much better. So Nikki agreed to let me interview her. She is the founder or co-founder of a company called Flanci. And let me show you what Flanci does. So these are my newest, they're for my mother. So mother, if you're watching this, this is a surprise. These are her beautiful skirts that they make. So yes, mother, you have a present coming. But Flanci manufactures gorgeous, amazing, interesting activewear. And Nikki herself is a passionate runner with over 100 marathons and ultra marathons under her belt, meaning she's seriously badass. She was telling me as we were getting ready that she just happens to be running with her friend this last week and did 24 miles one day and 27 miles the other day. So she is unbelievable. And you can tell that she's experienced the joy of running because you, Nikki, are just such a delight to be with. So I want to say a little bit more about you so that people know you and a little bit more about your background, and then we'll get into the goodies for this interview. So the idea of Flanci first came about several years ago when Nikki was struggling to find anything but primarily black running gear. And she went on this mission to hunt down some color and formed with her husband and their dog. In 2017, they formed Flanci. Flanci is the coolest name too. I have to tell the background of that name, which is it's an anagram for Nick and Elf. And also it's Flanci pants. I mean, who doesn't want a pair of Flanci pants? So Nikki, I really appreciate that not just you have great products and great brands and you're great to be with, but you really have a mission and a commitment to people being active and outdoors.
Yes.
And so I appreciate you taking the time because a lot of our clients right now, they are buying CBD to get back in shape. You know, people were saying for a while they have the, what did they call it? The quarantine 15, all sorts of things, like all sorts of catchy names like that, where people have, just been sheltered in and are now getting out more and more and trying to find this passion. So I really got interested in it and committed to it from the perspective of CBD because I started experimenting with recovery times and increased endurance and things like that CBD and our products could provide, and then discovered running. So we went for this nice long walk in honor of you this morning and put product on our backs and the necks and, lower backs, all the stiff spots before we went out. And, it's extraordinary. So that's a little bit about why I was wanting to talk to you, was really because the people who are using our products and loving our products, they want to be more active and they want all your tips. So that being said, can you tell me just a little bit about why you went from, because you were a nurse and in pharmaceutical sales, how did you go from that to activewear?
Yep. So I trained initially as a nurse and then I retrained as a midwife. So I've delivered many, many babies in my life as well. Oh. And then from there, I moved into pharmaceutical sales, really, because when I was a midwife, I couldn't bear the shifts. There's a lot of night duty and a lot of weekend work, and you had no time to yourself to do what you wanted to do. And I went into pharmaceutical sales, which paid beautifully with lots and lots of perks. And of course, it was Monday to Friday with very little weekends, apart from when I did some overseas travel. And it was a great job, a really good job. And I got a bit of grounding in the business world. But it's not my passion. I've always loved running. I started running when I was 22 years old as a vet, and I've loved it. And like Rose said earlier, really struggled to get anything colourful. So I had no brand loyalty whatsoever. I would just hunt out the colour. And bought a couple of products from America, actually, when I was over there doing the New York Marathon. And particularly bought a couple of the running skirts, and love running in skirts, but it's really difficult to come by in the UK. And I always said to my husband, Alf, if we ever get any money, I'm going to start my own company and produce my own activewear brand. And we came into some money when sadly Alf's parents died. And we decided to go for it. And we attended a business seminar and we met the lovely Rose. And anyway, we launched our business, as Rose said, a couple of years ago, and it has gone from strength to strength. And we primarily sell colour, bright colours. And it's been amazing. It's been a heck of a journey and we're absolutely loving it. And that's how I sort of flitted from being a nurse to an activewear brand owner.
So extraordinary. You know, one of the things I really appreciate about your brand in particular is the quality. There are other colorful things out there, but nothing with the quality that you guys provide. So I think I like to think that you took the details and everything that you were trained in you're in the medical field and applied it to colorful activewear, which is pretty cool. So,
well, I like you said, I do a lot of marathons and ultra marathons, and I of course wear my own brand, so it has to be comfortable. So it was actually designed with runners in mind, or people who are active. It's not just something that you wash and wear once and then bin. It's something that we want to last, because runners who do a lot of running want their kit to last. And so we went for the quality, and the things that we've got on our products, like the thigh pocket for your phone, the back pocket for your key, are to do with safety, and then the flat lock seam so you don't chafe on a long run. And of course you look pretty, and if you feel good, you look good. So there's a lot of thought went into it.
That's extraordinary. Well, tell me, you really are I consider you an authority, and that you clearly have wisdom in the arena of running, especially. I mean, I can't imagine finding joy in running for 24 miles. Like, it just sounds so overwhelming to me personally. You know, I might bike for 24 miles, but for the most part, you know, just in our normal everyday life, I spend most of my life.
Frozen.
Oh, I'm back. Am I back?
Hi, Rose.
Okay. Are we frozen?
You're back.
Okay.
You're back. So you said you'd bike for 24 miles?
I bike for 24 miles, but I couldn't imagine running or walking for 24 miles. Like, it just, how do you get started? Why do you do that? I mean, it just doesn't sound good to me.
Well, like I said, I initially started running as a bet because my stepmother was a marathon runner, and I'd never really run at all, apart from a couple of little bits at school, which I absolutely hated. And I just said to my dad one day, oh, I bet I could run a marathon, and he bet me I couldn't. So that was waving the red rag to the bull. So I went and bought a pair of running shoes and entered the London Marathon, and I had to actually start. So I put my shoes on one day with the intention of going for this really long run, and got to the end of the road, which is a couple of 100 yards, and nearly died. I just couldn't breathe. And I suddenly thought, this is not as easy as it looks. And I gradually built up by running from one lamppost and then walking the next, then running one lamppost and walking, and then slowly built up to a mile. And I still remember to this day, the day I ran 1 mile without walking. And it's probably a bigger highlight to me than running a marathon, because it was the biggest hurdle ever. And then from there, it was then run 2 lampposts, walk 1. You just build up very, very slowly. So it took me a year before I was able to run a marathon. You know, you have to start somewhere, and everyone can do it. It's just one foot in front of the other, and just start out slowly and sensibly, and don't try and do too much in one go. Just to feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's one of the things we referenced in one of our latest blogs we just posted on yournaturalhealthcare.com for people who want to go see there. There's a bunch of articles, but one of them was about how do you get started running, and it's perfect because that's exactly what we put in there, is that you set yourself obtainable goals. And then you work your way up, and then there really is the mental benefit of, look at what I did, look at what I accomplished, and there's and apparently the band, oh, there we go. And Nikki, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay, good.
That was my mother trying to call me.
That was your mother. That's perfect. Oh, that's hysterical. I was going to say, things must be really busy on the internet in the UK.
No,
by the way, thank you. Thank you for doing this having this conversation with me in the evening. I appreciate it.
That's fine.
We're lucky. My honey is making breakfast and her honey is helping make dinner. So, well, we talk about running and CBD. It's excellent. Okay, thank you for that advice. And it really is just get started. And even if it's, I'm going to run around the cul-de-sac, or I'm going to walk for a minute and run for a minute.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of game. One other thing we put in the article, and I don't know if you have something to add to this, which is go on adventures, like go off-roading, because if you can explore, it's just super cool. It keeps you interested.
Absolutely.
Do you do that?
Absolutely. I've got it's a global website. It's called View Ranger, and it has all the trails on there. And what I do is I'm running with a friend at the moment who's doing some long distance training, and I'm actually setting the routes just by going onto View Ranger and plotting a route. And we're just going on some amazing adventures and finding the most beautiful things. And I actually did one yesterday. It was such a stunning route, and we're doing one on Tuesday. And the other thing I think is important is to reward yourself. You mentioned setting yourself a goal. Set yourself a goal that's tough, but it is achievable, so you don't get despondent. And when you reach that goal, give yourself a reward, whether it's a lovely bottle of Prosecco, or well, you can't really have meals out in UK at the moment because of lockdown, or buy yourself a new running pants or a running top, but reward yourself. And then you've got lots and lots of little steps, and you gradually build up a beautiful wardrobe at the same time.
That's extraordinary. I know I have this in our household. We have this thing that we do in the morning. So we exercise in the morning, and William likes to go walking. So he goes on a walk, and most of the time I'll bike or walk with him. But if I don't do that, then I do yoga in the morning at the same time, right? So I learned, okay, this could also be alone time. This could also be quiet time. This could be time where I could just gather my peace of mind and set myself up for the day, think through whatever I might be struggling with, etc. So it's this kind of, I'm going to call it active adventure, can be beneficial for many different things. And I got to tell you, on our walk today, on our hike, I had my leggings, the strength leggings. What do you call them? They're amazing, strong. They're so fabulous. And so I was wearing those, and one of the things I love about it is the pocket in the back.
Yep.
And the drawstring on the front. So when you're running, it doesn't roll down. Yeah. And I don't have to worry about holding anything because I have my phone in my thigh pocket and the key in my back, So it's just it's like it's not just products designed for running or for freedom. It's products designed for freedom. Yeah. Which is super.
For being active.
Being active. Exactly. That's
one of our mottos at Flanci is called empowering confidence. A lot of people don't have the confidence to get out there and do something. So we're all about empowering confidence, giving you the tools. You've got somewhere to put your phone and somewhere to put your key, and you look good and they fit well. And like you said, they're not going to roll down. They're squat proof. It's all about this whole confidence thing.
You're amazing. Well, one of the things I know, some of our customers, they work on, they have their own fitness regime, whatever that is. Yeah. But one of the things that they deal with is recovery time. Yeah. And I've heard, especially, I've heard people complain about leg day, and they can't walk for the next 24 hours, and recovering from that. And I know, we have our solution. I'm going to ask you your solution, but I'm going to tell people, so we have a CBD muscle salve. Let's see if it comes. Oh, muscle salve cooling. So this one is the cooling version, and it's got wintergreen, camphor, and menthol in it. All of those ingredients without the CBD, which our CBD is from hemp, by the way, for everybody to know, but without, and no THC in it. But without the CBD, menthol, camphor, and wintergreen will reduce inflammation. If you reduce inflammation, you recover faster. And there's one other piece. There was a study done with these Norwegian long distance runners. And what they would do is they'd take wintergreen and they'd put it in a beeswax and they'd smear it under their nose or in their nose or, just somewhere in their airway. And the wintergreen, inhaling the wintergreen would increase their lung capacity, but I think it was like 10 to 15%. I can't remember what it was, which resulted in a greater distance, being able to run a greater distance. So for the people who are using our products or interested in, what can I take or do to increase my recovery time, or decrease my recovery time so I recover faster, the muscle salve cooling is our strong recommendation. And out of talking to Nikki, we're offering a special for that. You just put in the code cooling10 and you get $10 off our product. So go to Your Natural Healthcare, put in the code cooling10. Now, that's one piece, is the CBD and the menthol. Now I want to hear from you, Nikki, about your recovery tips. And I believe you're running a special too.
We are indeed. So recovery tips, after a really, really long run, I tend to have a nice hot bath. Some people believe in ice baths. That doesn't rock my boat. I like a nice hot bath with magnesium salts in or Epsom salts and a big good dose of that in. I don't know about in the States, but in the UK, we've got a brand called West Lab salts, and they do some really cool ones with lavender in, or I had a bath yesterday with one with pink grapefruit and lemongrass. And it just really is to soothe your muscles. The CBD oil, I think, is a great idea because, as we all, like Rose said, the menthol and the minty flavors, massaging that into muscles really does have a cooling effect. And I do try and give myself, especially on my hamstrings, my quads and calves, a really good muscle rub afterwards. And anyone, if any runners watching, the dreaded foam roller, you may have heard of the foam roller.
Yes.
And also there's a YouTube channel called Yoga with Adrienne, and Adrienne does some fantastic stretching pre and post run, and I'm trying to get into a habit of doing those twice a week after a long run as well. And the special offer that Rose was talking about, we're offering all of you lovely people 15% off of the Flanci, if anything off the Flanci range for the whole week. And the code is CBD Run. And if you put that in at checkout, you'll get 15% discount. And we do ship all over the world.
Wow, that's just so great. You guys, I can't tell you that I always thought if they were going to ship from the UK, that it would take weeks and weeks. And I swear, I mean, you know, the post is unpredictable, but I'm getting the products I ordered from you within a couple of days. It's really extraordinary. So I appreciate that. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is I want to talk about happiness and how that pertains both to CBD and to running. You know, people, there's the Happiness Project. People are doing various different things to study happiness, but really found the two, let's say, most accessible, most talked about sources of increasing your happiness is running and CBD. So do you want to talk about running and how running increases happiness?
Well, running releases something called endorphins, natural endorphins. So you get something called the runner's high. And I think it's just this feeling of elation and happiness and just joy. I certainly feel completely joyous when I'm out there because I do a lot of trail running. So what's better than a lovely, warm, sunny day, beautiful trails, nature, scenery, friends. And to top it all off, you get back and you reward yourself with a huge cup of tea and a slice of cake. I mean, what is more joyful? This one, I don't know anyone who goes for a run and comes back and said, I wish I hadn't gone for a run. Everyone comes back and they say, I'm so glad I went for a run. And just very quickly on joyfulness and happiness as well. People who wear black leggings, I've never yet heard anyone say, oh my goodness me, I love your leggings. But wear a bit of colour on your legs and a park run or at a race, and people will say, oh my God, I love your leggings. And of course, that makes you smile and makes you happy.
That's awesome. So you get the runner's high, you get the friends that you can run with, and then you get the compliments also, as long as you're wearing Flanci.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I know for me, a lot of times what I'll do, especially right now, it's spring here and everything is blooming and I get allergies. So I do some CBD spray, the spray that we have. I'll do that under my tongue before I go out. And then I actually take the muscle salve cooling. I use it like the runners and put just a little bit at the edge of my nose. It might sound gross to some people, but what that does is it actually captures some of the pollen. So I have greatly decreased allergy reaction. So those are my tips, you know, some of my tips for CBD in addition to the recovery. But, you know, when you're not suffering from allergies and you're not in pain, you're happier. You know, it's like your body works better, you're happier. So that's our little dose of happiness for people today. And we wish you all, maybe you go out and go for a little run today. it's still 10, it's only not even 11 o'clock here in the US. So for everybody in the US, go take a walk, make it a little goal, just run to the light post, just do a little bit. And Nikki, thank you so much for taking the
You're
time
welcome.
while you're making dinner, and thank you for the discount. They'll appreciate it. And you guys are all crazy if you don't take advantage of it. They're the most amazing things. Oh, and the sizes, I forgot to say that about you. Nikki's products, they have a large range of sizes. So and make sure you look at the size chart that's on the website, and have fun perusing. And we're wishing everyone happiness and health. Anything else you want to say? Final words?
Yeah, just if anyone has any questions, drop me an email at info@flanci.co.uk, and I'm more than happy to help you with sizing and answer any questions.
Awesome. And you guys, she's amazing. She really does respond to emails. And when you order your Flanci products, by the way, you get a little treat too. It's kind of cool. All right, guys, that's it for now. Enjoy your products. Order from flanci.co.uk. Use CBD Run, get 15% off. Order from Your Natural Healthcare, get the Muscle Sap Cooling, or any other product, get Cooling 10 and get $10 off. That's it for the day. Thanks, you guys. Bye.